this is here. I guess we'll see. I might not get anything from here, like manga, but you never know. I got some stuff, just a few books, and I figured I'll do a little book haul for you guys. So first, let's say I went to two stores. I went to a independent bookstore, like it's a used bookstore. However, they do sell new books at the same time, but there's always like a little bit of a discount on them, so it's really nice. And then I also went to Books A Million, or you know, BAM. But I went to the used bookstore first, and I only got two things. As you saw in the earlier clip, I wasn't sure if I was going to find anything, to be honest. It's one of those stores where you have to kind of go in there with a game plan, at least for the fiction books or non-fiction books. But when it comes to manga, sometimes they have some that you may like, and then others is like, I don't know if it's enough of a discount for me to actually purchase it. But still, I found a manga. It's Saint Seiya, Sentia Show, I want to say. It's an all-new, all-women Knights of the Zodiac that have arrived. It's not that new. It's actually from like 2018, I think. Let me double check. Sorry, it's 2013. 2013. It's starting to slowly become a classic now, I would say, but not as classic as like Sailor Moon and Captain Cardcaptor. Oh my gosh, Cardcaptor Sakura. But anyway, so this is about a high school girl, Shoko, who has no idea what's in store for her. Only Athena, the goddess of war, you know, and her warrior handmaidens stand before the destruction, but will their power be enough to save Shoko from the resurrection of an ancient evil? So that is the premise of this manga series, and this is volume 1. They had volume 1 and volume like 6, and I didn't want to get volume 6 even though it was like $8. It would have been a really good deal, especially since the original price on these are $13. But yeah, I decided just to get volume 1, test it out. I want to say I may have read it before, but I can't quite remember. But I knew I would be interested in it regardless. I went ahead and got it. And then I showed y'all that like huge selection of the Fourth Ring series. And I've been wanting to read it. I've been hesitant to read it because I know it's a romantasy, and I tend to not read that much like romance stuff. But I do like fantasy when it comes to like my fiction books. With manga, I do read romance, but I couldn't let the deal go by because it was $11. And it's in great condition, even though it is used. Like you can tell, like, you know, there's a little bit of, I don't know if you can really tell that there. There's like a little bit of damage, but like barely any damage at all. And it's the special edition that has like the dragons on the side. A dragon without its rider is a tragedy. A rider without their dragon is dead. I don't think I have to really explain too much about what Fourth Ring is about, because it's not like it's super new, but it's really, really popular still. It's an elite and brutal world of a war college for dragon riders. That is the premise of Fourth Ring, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. I just can't believe I got such a good deal on this for $11. Most of the other copies were like $16 or so, which is still a really good deal. There was a hardcover edition, like the original edition, that was I think $12 in there, but it didn't have the dragons on there, and I'm like, it's not worth me having a hardcover. I don't mind having paperback, So that's why I went ahead and got this. And plus it has bonus content in there. So I really lucked out on this deal, and that's why I bought it. So those are the only things that I got from the independent bookstore, and it's awesome. It was so awesome. Now from BAM, we got some goods here. Like, I really lucked out on their sales section. I got 3 books and 1 manga. The manga was not in the sales section, but that's okay. They happen to have something that I've been looking for a while, so I took advantage of it. Anyways, so here's what I got. Go-Go Loser Ranger Volume 2, Walking Practice by Dolki Min. Yeah. Sundial by Catriona Ward. I don't know. And then The Poison-Free Dream by Bethany Baptiste. I'm not sure if it's Baptiste Day, but I know it's like Baptiste at least. Or baptized? I think Baptiste. I'm not good at pronouncing names. I feel like half the time I mispronounce my own name. It's very simple. It's just Gina, but sometimes I feel like I mispronounce it. Anyways, that is off topic. So Go-Go Loser Ranger, this is actually volume 2. I read volume 1. I had borrowed it from the library and I was like really into it. I also watched episode 1 of the anime and really loved it. And it's really hard for me to actually read and watch at the same time, but I think this is one of those that I could actually do that with. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and get it. So Go-Go Loser Ranger, it's like the main character, he wants to take down, basically, they're not the Power Rangers, but you can kind of think of it in that concept as like he wants to take down the Power Rangers. Like, we know it's put on a show, and they're always taking down the evil, which is this group of monsters that their boss was eliminated really quickly. This is not spoilers. This is like all it, like, you get told this very quickly, and it's like a show repeated. So the main character is actually the enemy, or rather like the monsters, and he's like mimicking not necessarily the Rangers, but he wants to become a Ranger so he can infiltrate and take down the ultimate Rangers. It's a really interesting concept, and it's funny because the monster is not really good at all at being a Ranger. So it's going to be interesting to see if the main character can accomplish his goals. So I am intrigued, and the art is really good as well. I'm distracted. So that is what Go-Go Loser Ranger is about, and yeah, I'm definitely intrigued on how, like, figuring out how this unfolds. It's more than a 2-volume series, so of course I'm gonna have to keep reading them, but I want to go ahead and invest my money into buying the series. So I went ahead and got volume 2. It's so rare to find them in the stores anyway, so that's why I was like really excited. And then onto the books. These were all in the sale section. So I got them all, I think each was like $7. One of them was $6, the other two $7 each. So really, really good deal, especially for hardcovers. So the first one, Walking Practice by Dolki Min. It's a really weird concept. Let's see. It's like the main character is an alien that's crashed on Earth, and he's hungry, or it is hungry, and in order to survive, it shifts forms to mimic people, basically, and tries to devour them. But then there's a time where it doesn't get a successful kill, and then we see how that unfolds. That is the premise of of this, and yeah, I'm intrigued. I just couldn't, like, it's apparently a psychological thriller, And it's pretty short. I think, is it even 200 pages? It's not even 200 pages. And the font size is like pretty nice. So it should be a pretty quick read, I think. And I just couldn't let it go. Like, it's something that is not commonly, like, the topic would be published in the US, but I think it's probably going to be really interesting to read. So I had to buy it. I wanted to not, like, I considered it as like, I don't know, but it, like, I kept thinking about it. I was like, okay, yeah, you're just gonna go ahead and buy it. So I did. The next one is Sundial by Catriona Roard. So I actually saw this in Barnes and Noble several months ago, and I had kind of considered it. It's in the horror section, but I think it's more like a little closer to like a thriller horror than like horror, if that makes sense. In theory, it might not be as grotesque, but I could be wrong. I think it's like there's two main characters. There's a mom and a girl, and the mom is concerned about her little girl because she talks to imaginary people and collects tiny bones. That seems rightfully concerning, in my opinion. So the mom takes her back to her childhood home, which is in Sundial, and it's in the desert. And apparently there she has to make a terrible choice. So I'm not quite sure what that choice will be, but both of them are like, they have to redeem their future and keep like the sundial alive. I think that's, and see if they can leave the sundial alive. So I'm intrigued. I didn't want to pay full price for it when I was at Barnes and Noble, but to see it again at a discounted price, I couldn't let it go because it was something I was interested in reading before, and I was like, I might get it the next time I come back. And now I got it at Books A Million for $7. So instead of $27, that's like a really good deal. Anyway, so that was Sundial. And then The Poisons We Drink. This is not remotely to being new. Let me see when it came out. It came out in, it's newer than I thought it was. In my head, I was thinking it was like 2020, but this came out in 2024, and I've been wanting to read it since I heard about it, probably in 2024, and I just never got around to checking it out from the library or even just reading it through like Kindle. Like, I just didn't get time to do it, but I always wanted to read it, and then I finally found it for $6. So I was like, okay, well, clearly invested in it. And it's about the main character. She makes potions, and particularly love potions, but then her mother, her life is ended by an enemy's iron bullet, and to seek revenge, the Grand Richer, which is the ruthless head of her coven, offers Venus the chance to punish her mother's killer, but she has to pay a steep price, which will be brew poisonous potions for to enslave DC's most influential politicians in order to pass legislation that will protect Richards for years to come. It seems intriguing, like love potions, and how will love potions and like other types of potions, how will that corrupt things, and how will that be weaponized? Like, I'm really intrigued by it. That's why I was like, The Poisons We Drink. And also, like, look how beautiful this main character is. Like, she is stunning, and it probably also reminded me of me when I was in my pink hair era. Love that. So I'm invested. Okay, so the back says, weaponize your love. Use it to protect you and those in your heart. It makes you brave to some and a monster to others, but not all monsters are monstrous. That's deep. But yeah, that was the last thing that I saw, and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta get out of the store because I will spend way too much more money than I really need to, because I haven't read the books that I bought from last time. But that is the end of my haul. So I got in total 4 books and 2 manga. I think that was a really pretty good haul. So I'm really looking forward to reading like my manga. I know this is like really quick reads for me, probably like 20 minutes each, and then to finally dive into the books that I bought. But yeah, so that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoy. I didn't do like my typical book shopping video. I just didn't have the time to in the stores to do the clips like I normally do. But the next time I go to a bookstore, I'll probably do a little more showing inside the store of my like thoughts while I'm book shopping, as I usually do. But for this one, I didn't really get the chance to do that. But regardless, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!